Our special guest today is Frederick Reed, also known as FunkyFreddy Republic from Upper State New York. You've been listening to his song, My Secret Life, which was featured on the NPR show Echoes by John Diliberto. That song is available on the 2012 instrumental album Themes from Imaginary Lands. Fred is a talented singer, songwriter, instrumentalist, specializing in folk, Americana, rock, and ambient, often incorporating world music sounds and styles. He is known as the guitarist for the band Neighbors and Allies, which was referred to as a favorite New York band by the late great David Bowie. Fred has composed and performed music with Co-Directions Incorporated for Wall Street Journal TV, PBS, Time Warner, and Sesame Street. He composed the soundtrack for the 1989 philosophical documentary Borders and the 1991 Emmy Award-winning documentary Metaphoria. Fred has collaborated with Delight, Susan McCune, Gary Lucas, and Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks. Fred co-wrote and performed Ozark Melody with Jeff Buckley, which was featured in Rolling Stone magazine. In addition to his solo work, Fred performs with Broadway performer and singer-songwriter Tamara Hayden as the band August Moons, and have collaborated on multiple albums. Albums and songs are available on iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby, and funkyfreddy.bandcamp.com. Freddie, welcome to Second Beat.
Thank you.
How did you get your name, Funky Freddy?
Because I was the guy who used to keep the rhythm together in a lot of my early bands when high school and things. A lot of times it would be rhythmically challenged, so I'd be the guy that would count off the songs and drive the rhythm. I had a reputation as a guitar player who could really keep the rhythm going when I was in a rock band and stuff like that. So I got into a lot of situations that way, and that became a nickname, Funky Freddy.
Do you have any other formal music training?
Well, I guess I had music training in grade school, junior high, and high school, and then I went to community college for a while, and then I ended up dropping out of college and going with a rock band in New York City and playing with them for 2 or 3 years, and then I ended up doing all kinds of other things in New York City, wearing a lot of musical hats, being an engineer and a producer, as well as a guitar player in a band, and of course I write a lot of music and things, so.
You have previously stated that you had performed at New York City's historic club CBGB's. Will you describe that experience?
Well, that was a pretty amazing time. I'm trying to think, when did I first play at CBGB's? It might have been I think it was 1979. And a lot of people were there. I met a lot of people at that time period in New York in the early 80s. And David Bowie came to see us at CBGB's a few times. And members of Blondie used to check us out. And I met quite a few interesting people in our times there. David Byrne, members of the Talking Heads, things like that.
What an outstanding time of your life that must have been.
Mm-hmm. We were signed to the producer that was produced the Go-Go's and Blondie's first couple records, Richard Goddard. But then we had a gigantic contractual dispute with him, so we ended up not putting out under any records in that incarnation of the band Neighbors and Allies, which is a major heartbreak, as we were a very popular band at that time. If we had gotten a record out, I don't know. Things might have been very different.
Very different. For those who haven't heard this remarkable story, please tell us how you got your start in Second Life.
I met a man whose musician's name was Monty and Gilruth. He used to play in Second Life quite a bit. I don't know, about 6, 7 years ago, I think he stopped playing in Second Life. It's been a long time. I think he was active in the Montreal Jam, the 2009 Jam, and then the 2011. But he hasn't been active very much lately, musically, in Second Life. But I met him at a party in real life, and he was telling me about Second Life, and I ended up playing with him at this party in real life. Then he invited me over to his basement, and I ended up playing a lot with him before I even had an avatar in Second Life.
So you streamed live music into Second Life before you ever even had an avatar.
Yes. Yes, I was playing music in Second Life before I ever got an avatar.
What was your first reaction when you saw him, playing to this animated world? Were you surprised?
I thought it was kind of interesting because I was a big science fiction fan and I'd read a lot of William Gibson books. The guy who wrote Neuromancers, so it kind of seemed like one of Gibson's worlds at the time. I also, it reminded me of doing radio shows. I used to do radio shows occasionally, and basically you'd be in the studio with a DJ, and the DJ would interview you, and then you play a bunch of music and wait for the phones to ring. People that were listening on the radio would call up the station and stuff and talk to you. So Second Life reminded me of that a bit, only instead of waiting for the phone to ring, you would just do the chat with them.
Neat. Previously, you have dual streamed in Second Life with Lisa Brune, Voodoo Shilton, Twin Ghost, and Maximilian Clean. Are there other artists that you would like to dual stream with in Second Life?
Well, Tamara Hayden and I dual stream a lot too, with our band August Moons. I dual streamed with Obley, I think a couple times with Obley. Mulder Watts or John Larson and I are talking to each other about doing a dual stream.
Very neat.
I kind of like to dual stream with people that are a lot different than me and that are real creative and kind of take me on a journey that I wouldn't go myself, you know?
Absolutely.
So Maximilian Clean, Voodoo Shilton, Twin Ghosts, Tamara Hayden, we all go different places when we dual stream. And so it's challenging and it's a lot of fun.
Does Tamara Hayden have an avatar in Second Life?
Yes, she does. I think it used to be Tamara Sands, but I think it's Tamara Hayden now.
You met Tamara Hayden at the first SL Montreal Jam, and since then she collaborated with you on the album Songs from the North Country and also under the band name August Moons and the album So Far. Do you still perform together?
Yes, we have a show, and let me get you the date for that. That is September 15th, Saturday night. We'll be in Teaneck, New Jersey at a restaurant club called the Classic Quiche in Teaneck, New Jersey. That's our next live gig. And I'm not sure when we're going to do a dual stream again in Second Life.
So you still perform in real life on a regular basis also?
Yes, yeah. And the week before that, let's see, I play at the farmers market in Plattsburgh in New York because I live way upstate New York, and then I do some other coffee houses and things in the area. I also record people here and do sessions. I record in my house different artists and coach people and also score stuff, music for video.
I've seen some videos on YouTube that were accompanied by your songs, and I greatly enjoy your instrumental works. Can you describe your process when you were composing them?
Mm. Well, basically, I go at it a lot of different ways. I basically I tell myself, you're gonna sit in the studio and go do music for 2, 3 hours. First thing, I try to do it first thing without checking email, without letting anything get in my way. And it doesn't matter how I start. I have a lot of different methods. I could sing stuff in my head right into the computer and put it down, or I could play guitar or keyboards or play around with some beats. Every method is brought forth songs or new pieces of music. So I just basically put myself in the studio and I kind of see what happens unless I'm mixing something or trying to finish something that I started before.
Have you done much traveling in the world? And what can you tell us about your world music influences on your work?
Mm. Well, I lived in New York City for over 20 years and collaborated with a lot of different musicians. There was an album called Fused, which was put together by Richard Kazami, and he was a Middle Eastern percussionist. He's Lebanese and Lebanese or second generation Lebanese, and a lot of different musicians played on that from all over the world. And I wrote some of the music and played some guitar on it and played some synths on it. And it's just in New York City. I was not only composing and playing, but I was mixing a lot of music, and so I brushed shoulders with a lot of different types of music and kind of absorbed it.
Would you say this experience has been transcending for you, hearing different styles of music and then also beginning to play them?
Yeah, it's basically, well, I think you basically just have to listen and see what's happening. And if it's something that you like or something that you can sympathize with, you kind of find your way in it. But you basically listen more than you play, and eventually, you'll find your way through the music. I think, or in the music, you'll become one with it, or whatever. To me, it's all about suspending your ego a lot of the time and just
Oh.
letting the music happen.
You have written songs about love, places, time, the environment, and also political topics such as Second Amendment. Do you consider yourself to be an activist via music arts? How has this song been received by listeners, and have you had much feedback?
Yeah, well, Second Amendment was kind of I don't know. Basically, it was almost like a comedy, a noise comedy piece to me, and that there's uh, so much stuff going on. So I grabbed all of these crazy sound bites from movies and interviews that happened to be on at the time, and just kind of moshed it together. And then I think I threw a part of Boardwalk Empire in there, and I don't know. It's to me, I wouldn't consider myself an activist so much as an observer. I don't endorse political candidates very much, but then I have songs that are very sympathetic to immigrants and things like that. And yeah, I guess you would call me environmentalist because I hike a lot and I live close to nature up here. Uh, the politics tends to a lot of politics tend to turn me off. I'd rather talk directly about the issues.
In a previous interview, you stated that you were converting a barn into a home. Has this project been completed and you still live there?
Yeah, oh yeah, upstate New York. It was like it's a barn shaped building with a gambrel roof. There weren't animals in here, but it was someone's workshop, and it's quite a comfortable place to live and do music in.
You find it
It's
to be an
it's
ideal studio place.
mhm.
I can imagine
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty nice, and I tend to have barn jams up here where occasionally people like Twin Ghost and Rue Shelton and Tamara Hayden and people like that. We've had John Larson here and Max Clean. We've had people come up here and jam, and we've done streams where there's 4 or 5 of us playing from here in the barn. It's really nice.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
Besides writing and performing music, what other interests do you have?
Mm. Well, I'm an amateur gardener. I grow tomatoes and peppers and things during the summer. I also hike a lot all seasons of the year. I like to swim. I like to kayak. Uh, I like to stargaze. I read a lot. My house is filled with books. I play a lot of different musical instruments, keyboards, guitars. I'm not a great keyboard player, but I make a lot of great sounds on synths and mandolins, guitars, bass, and I sing.
Is there anything else that you would like to say about your Second Life experience so far? Or what would you like to say to your fans?
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone that comes to my shows and listens to my music online. That's important. And yeah, I've met a lot of really nice people through Second Life, a lot of very interesting people. And I kind of consider Second Life to be a bit of a laboratory. I experiment a lot with my shows. I try to change things up and change the guitars I'm playing and things. And occasionally I do ambient shows, which is composed of all instrumental music. Usually every few months I do one of those.
Oh, I'd love to catch one of those shows. That would be outstanding.
Hopefully I'll do one of those in the next month or so.
Do you have time to sing a song for us on Second Beat?
Sure.
And now, here on Second Beat, Funky Freddy performing his song, The Backdoors of My Mind, from his album, Ghosts of Another America.
All these memories in the back door of my mind. I think I could go home. All those changes in the playground of our time. What seemed to work for me did not work out for you. I wish somehow we'd never change. I wish somehow we'd never age. I wish somehow. I wish somehow. Wish I could sneak into the back door of your heart and heal a hurt you'd grown. All those times we had run aground, I wish you could have known the good we could have sown. wish somehow we'd never change. I wish somehow we'd never age. I wish somehow, I wish somehow, but I keep making the same mistakes. Don't know how I'll ever change. I keep wandering twisted paths. Have I lived this life in vain? And I wish somehow we'd never change. I wish somehow we'd never age. I wish somehow, I wish somehow, I wish somehow, I wish somehow, I wish somehow.
Oh, I just love that. That was The Backdoors of My Mind by FunkyFreddy from his album Ghosts of Another America, and it is available at funkyfreddy.bandcamp.com. Welcome back to Second Beat. Freddie, tell us about your experience working at Fez.
For a while, for years, I was the production manager there, and I mixed a lot of acts. And that's how I met Jeff Buckley. I mixed him about 30 times. I mixed Joni Mitchell there. I mixed Johnny Cash there. I mixed Carly Simon there. A whole bunch of people played there that I ended up mixing. It's another part of my life, my musical life, as a producer or an engineer.
Tell us more about your experience working with Joni Mitchell.
Well, Joni was quite an interesting person, Joni Mitchell, and that was quite an event mixing her. It was a small club; it was about 150 capacity, and I had an interesting conversation with her prior to sound check. And let's just say I was a little nervous, before I started working with her. But then she got on stage. It was herself and Brian Blade, the drummer, that she was playing with, who was a great, amazing percussionist. And she started to play, and she really liked the sound and the vibe. And so she immediately relaxed, and she said, "Oh, this is really nice. It sounds good in here. And this is really comfortable. Do you mind if I play for a while? If Brian and I play?" I was like, "No, not at all. Make yourself at home." And she really relaxed. Apparently, she had played a party the night before, some benefit the night or two before, and they had butchered the sound. And so she came into Fez like, you know, fearing another bad experience, and she got the opposite. So, and then that night at the show was jam packed. Everybody had a great time.
Were you nervous to meet her?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of used to meeting celebrities, but then she's like a giant. She's like way more than the celebrity. She's, one of the
An icon.
premier singer-songwriters of the 20th century.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah, of course, I was a huge fan of hers, and so, yeah, I was kind of like walking on eggshells when I met her.
What was it like meeting Johnny Cash?
Well, it was interesting because he had more of an entourage. So, like, I shook his hand briefly, but I didn't really get to talk to him much. I mixed him, but, there was more of an entourage. He had more handlers and stuff like that. So, whereas Joni came into the room, I'm trying to think of the person's name that set up her guitar thing. She had a Roland VG8 guitar system, and it was a photographer that had taken his name slips my mind right now. He took a lot of famous pictures, though, of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and many, many other artists. And he was talking to me about a lot of history and things as we set up. And then so Joni came in with Brian, and then I ended up, I was basically alone with her in the room, her and Brian, and ended up talking to her for quite a while too.
And what was it like to meet Carly Simon?
Oh, Carly, she's very friendly actually. She used to come to the restaurant Time Cafe in Fez and always had a huge smile on her face, and she's very friendly, very no airs about her at all. Yeah, she played there, and she had a party for I think her daughter, and
Huh.
did a couple of events there.
I actually have met David Crosby briefly
Hmm.
at a show. I saw Carly's ex-husband, James Taylor.
Oh yeah, he was at one of the shows.
Oh,
He
cool.
sat next to me when I was mixing
Oh, for
sound
heaven's
for
sakes.
Carly, and I said hello to him, but he was kind of like trying to hide, so he didn't want to converse very much, because I guess, Carl and him weren't together at the time, but he came because, he's still part of the family. But he was kind of like sitting over to the side by the sound man, which was me at the time,
Oh,
and didn't
wow.
want to be noticed very much.
So what's your those are notable experiences. I guess so. What's your strangest experience in your music travels?
I've had a lot of weird gigs that I've done over the years. Some of the acoustic stuff where you just show up in places and you play songs. Uh, I remember one time driving out to Cornwall, Ontario, with my wife, and we drove out there in a blizzard from Montreal, and I ended up playing at this place. Some I forget what kind of it was. Some events place or whatever, and I ended up playing for a room full of drunks in Cornwall, Ontario, who had never heard of me. Yeah,
Right.
in the middle of a blizzard, and yeah, they were all there just getting trashed, and yeah, yeah, people playing with the lights and stuff. And in the '80s, mid '80s, I played a Rock Against Racism concert down in Washington D.C. And I think there was something like 10,000 people in the audience. It was like on the Capitol Hill lawn, and it was in the '90s that day. And just as we were about to play, this thunderstorm came through, and this really like rain, and it went from the '90s down into the '70s. And we go on stage, and I'm playing the first song, and we had kind of like a four-piece band, and it was guitar, bass, and drums, and then I had another singer who just played a little Casio keyboard. And the first song, I broke 2 strings on my electric guitar and it just went completely out of tune. So I had to finish that song really fast, put the guitar down. So I took a spare guitar and I started to play that. And the strings broke on that too, and it went completely out of tune. And I'm up there in front of 10,000 people, and we had rehearsed like crazy, and we were a really tight band, but it was like I ended up just singing and clapping my hands.
Wow.
And after it was so horrible, like the experience of having that happen in front of the largest crowd I had played to. I ended up going underneath the stage and crying after the show.
No doubt. I bet
I couldn't believe that had happened.
You probably had nightmares about it.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I have nightmares occasionally. I call them stress dreams, where I'm setting up a gig, like some high pressure gig for Joni Mitchell or my own show, and the gear hasn't arrived, or we're running out of time, or one of the musicians hasn't showed up, and I get these dreams maybe every 3 months or so, and then I'll wake up full of stress and then realize, oh, no, you don't have to play a gig, it's just a dream. And
So that performance that you gave, where your strings broke on this guitar and then they broke on your next guitar, so you're up there, singing without your instrument, but you still get the rest of the band. Do you feel that you gave a maybe more soulful performance because you're trying to put up, all your musical heart into your vocal sound?
No, probably not, because we're kind of like a power trio, and the guitar was the main instrument of the band, and it was like, great, we just lost the guitar, And it was like bass and drums with a Casio keyboard, one of those little tiny Casios, dee, 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 It wasn't quite what we had in mind. Especially for the audience, because we were on the bill with the Dead Kennedys,
Really?
all these other hardcore bands, yeah, rock against racism. So it was like kind of like there were all these other really heavy bands, and when I play electric guitar, I can really go off on a tangent and be a pretty heavy guitarist if that's my role in the band.
I saw that a little bit on your Montreal SL Jam videos. I was like, wow, go FunkyFreddy. Really outstanding.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we had some fun at that jam.
So thank you for joining me today on the Riverfront Porch for Second Beat. I enjoyed
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, I enjoyed getting to know more about you and talking with you. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And
oh, thank you, Apollo.
You're more than welcome.